Hello, hello. Welcome to this segment of Sister to Sister here on Real Life. We're so happy that you've invited us into your home. Now, we always have really good questions that we think will touch your heart. This one from girls to you is going to touch your heart. It touches mine. I'm going to see what Amy has to say about this. Amy, should I care about what others think of me? And how's my hair?
Your hair.
I just wonder.
Hair. Do you care what I think?
I don't know. It depends on what you're
Do you even care? Should we even care what others think? That's a great question. You know, one of my sort of life mottos is to live for the audience of one. Because if I'm living my life concerned about what other people think about me, I'm going to be a basket case. But ultimately, I have to live for the audience of one. However, if people are not living for him, but living for themselves, I've seen people become so self-consumed that they don't care about what anyone else thinks. And they've got a lot of collateral damage all over the place because they're so self-focused and so selfish and self-centered. They're just hurting everybody around them. So I think, you know, you should live before God and live with a free conscience and a clean conscience before God, and let the dogs bark, the train's rolling on.
I love that.
Yeah, I totally agree with Amy. I just have another little perspective of it. Not that it's indifferent, but just another little look at it. And I just think that because I'm definitely the personality, like, you know, whatever you think, you just think.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just who I am. However, along with me having that personality, I have to watch so that I stay balanced, because my grandmother used to have an expression: everybody's not lying on you. So if people are making the same comment, it may be worth you evaluating that. You know, like, let's think about this, Flo. If everybody's saying this particular thing about me, maybe I need to look at that. Yeah. So there's a danger in me not considering what others have to say. The other thing is the why. When you're in certain situations and environments, you know, sometimes, you know, and we talked about this before, you guys, on the show, about can women be catty? Can Christians be catty?
Yes.
And we can. Is there competition? And there is in the church. It is fierce. So why are these comments coming up? That's one of the key things. And I had to learn that my call has a lot to do with the conversation that surrounds what goes on with me. Yes. And what happens, what I do with that, you know, sometimes God will pick me up and put me in an environment, just as he does all of us, and you are the catalyst for something. In my case, I tend to be the catalyst for change. People don't like that, you know. A lot of people don't like change. And I think that it is awesome when God can put you somewhere, and what it does is begin to motivate people to do different, to step up higher, to go deeper in the word, to do. And sometimes when jealousy erupts or things like that erupt or competition erupt, if you can understand the why, you won't allow it to take root in your spirit, and therefore you can maintain staying focused for that audience of one.
So you don't care. That's good. I know you don't. But I love your hair, too.
Listen, all that sounds.
No. I love that. I
She's
love
telling
that.
the truth. I'm okay.
'Cause you go.
I'm
You
okay
go.
with that.
Yeah. You go. Yeah. Corey, you're so beautiful, and you care.
No. Not my Corey. Love him, but not that.
No, I'm actually a contrarian. So, like, if someone is like, tells me like something, I do the opposite. If they're like, you know, I really didn't like that, I'm like, okay, I'm wearing that more. I'm doing that more. Or, like, I'm the opposite.
So you're an agitator.
Yeah, a little bit. But to go along with what Flo said, if there is someone that is a close, respected person in your life, like a mentor, your spouse, a spiritual advisor in your life, you need to care about what they're speaking into your life, because God has placed them into your life for that purpose. That's their calling in your life. And so you do need to care, because that's the person God has said, that's their job. And so you're there to be hearing what they have to say as a guide, to say, okay, this is a conviction in your life, you need to be hearing, you need to be making these changes, you need to be following this wise counsel. If it's some random person, I'm not saying this has happened before, but if it's some random person messaging you on Facebook saying, I didn't like your opinion on Sister to Sister, and you need to change the dress you were wearing, or you need to say this or do this. Okay, delete, okay? I'm just saying, okay? So there's a difference between who cares and what you're hearing and what the relationship is.
Wow.
That's good.
Wow, Roxy, do you care?
I have learned not to. Did I? Yes. When you're full of pride in yourself, you want to respect of others, you measure yourself on what others think. It's so difficult in this world because so much is based upon our careers, how we look, what our families look like. It's so difficult to navigate through that. So we have to be so careful, as you've said, not base our self-esteem on what others think. And that's the crux of it, I think.
We have to try not to.
We have to try not to base our self-esteem on what others think, but we can use it to understand where they are. For example, one time I said years ago, this was 25 years ago, one guy, I said, why suddenly are you turned on me? What happened? And he said to me, well, you're mean. And he wasn't a Christian, and I thought, wow, I could really destroy him with how mean he is. And I stopped to think, oh yeah, you're a little tough on your kids. You're a little tough on your husband. You're
He's
a little tough.
Little bully.
So I learned that there was an element of truth to make me understand myself, but also understand him. He was mad at me about something else. So a lot of times people lash out and say things. They could be jealous of Corey because of what she wears or whatever. I don't know.
She's so beautiful.
Right. So I don't know what the reason, but sometimes there's a reason why people are saying bad things or good things about us. They either want to pat us on the back and get close for the wrong reasons.
Oh dear.
Or they want to hurt us because they are hurting themselves. They're hurting inside themselves.
Well, I just want to tell you, watching us, I care what you think about our show. Send us an email, won't you? See you next time. We are Sister to Sister.